Hey everybody, GravyTrain here with another episode of GravyTraining. So I was so I was gonna not spend any more money on Dungeon Boss, and I was pretty much borderline ready to give up. And then they made some changes today, which doesn't necessarily change my mind on that, but it is. I'm very, very cautiously optimistic. So they added a new hero, and they've made some changes to the game. So I'm going to unlock. I went ahead and got the pass. I haven't bought anything else. But I got the pass here so that I can get Thraxx tokens, and I want to go through leveling this guy, or getting this guy leveled up and set up and everything with you, so you see everything that's involved along the way. And I want to talk about his abilities. So let's go ahead and open this door. So I've got Thraxx unlocked now. I don't know, what are the thing today? Yeah, useless. Alright. I'll probably use this all for Thraxx tokens. So let's go in here and let's see what Thraxx is. And actually, kind of for some context, let's talk about one other thing first. And they've reworked the speed trait. And what they've done, and they've needed to do a rework completely for a while now. I'm not sure this is quite enough, and I'm not sure this is going to be an improvement, but I'm willing to give it a try. Part of this is great. So they've made it so that fast heroes, they attack first. Attack is reduced by 20%. This is critical. So we're talking on like a Dagon or something like that. We're talking about a 6,000 attack point reduction, which is absolutely needed. Because you don't want to have, heroes that are fast are supposed to not hit as hard. Heroes that are slow are supposed to hit harder, etc. And then it increases their skill by 20%, which is nowhere near the same magnitude. And a skill is still going to help some heroes that are fast. It's going to make Lorelei potentially hit harder and heal more and things like that. So there's going to be some shift in that regard, but the drop, it's going to make Kelpie is going to have just her vines or her shadow vines or whatever they are going to do tons of damage. But the thing is, it's going to reduce attack and it's going to raise skill. 20% of a 30k attack or a 25k attack is 5 to 6k attack. 20% of a 5k skill, which is high in most cases, is only going to be 1,000. So the swing is not going to be nearly, but then again, the effective skill is higher. So as far as that goes, that's reasonable. And also, I'll warn you ahead of time, strap in. This is going to be a longer video. I'm going to be covering a lot of stuff. I'm also just encountering this stuff kind of for the first time. Like, somebody posted the details of this in Discord. Thanks, Arctic. And then I immediately kind of came into the game and I'm starting to look here. So this is almost like a reacts video at the same time. So then slow heroes attack last, which that verbiage is bad. They don't attack last, they attack in the last phase. But increases base attack, defense, and max health. I think the defense is all that's new. It used to buff their attack and max health already by 25%. So this is actually going to kind of be a big deal for heroes like Jin, for Yan. I'm actually going to try out, and I don't even know how effective any of this stuff's going to be yet. Combined with what I've seen of the new hero, I think it's going to be good, potentially. But we're still contingent on having this new hero. I think some of the things this new hero does ought to just be the case, period. But so bear this in mind that and they also have a chance to make a revenge attack. So I think this is good. I don't know if it's quite enough, but it's good. You're already sacrificing quite a bit by not having them go when these heroes are going, but if the damage is reduced their chance to survive to take an action is going to be higher. Defense is going to need to be pretty significant to offset the amount of damage you can get, but I think, I mean, this is a 45% swing in defense versus attack. This could end up being significant. I can't say just yet. This is one of those things where I'm going to have to do a bunch of PvPing with heroes like this to really say for sure, and I'll let you guys know what I find. This could definitely go either way, and I'm being open-minded about it. I know boss fight has pissed me off a lot lately, and I was about to write them off, but I'm willing to give this an open-minded chance. Don't even get me started on adventures, but I'll have a video about that soon. I'm taking my time before I speak on that. But anyhow, so that is the speed change. Now, looking at the new hero. So this hero is a slow demon ogre tank. That's a lot of stuff. But the nice thing is that he's a demon and an ogre, and both of these are kind of important, I think. And we'll see why when I start talking about all the stuff. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and ascend him. So clearly, clearly I have the evos, so I'm not worried about that. So his first abilities, he has very little to start out, whatever. But his first ascension is a... I forget what the levels of the evos are even called. This is just a regular dark evo, and then this is a dark monarch, or a red monarch. And then it is a subterranean, or 6 subterranean evos, and 4 crypt evos. Go ahead and ascend him. So then the next ascension is 3 nature evo, or 40 nature evos, 60 evo monarchs, the dark ones, then 8 cold fire evos, and 5 diamond evos. Clearly I'm not lacking in either one. We'll ascend the second time. So that is fully ascended then. So now we're going to need to... Where do I even level the hero up again? At page 1. Give him his... I haven't even leveled a hero in a while. The stats page. Where the heck do I level this hero? Am I just losing my mind? Oh, yeah, okay, the button wasn't there. I didn't see it. Alright, so let's level this guy up. Yeah, whatever. Alright. Level 80. With nothing else leveled up. This is what his stats look like. Go ahead and level up the abilities. And this is going to take a while. This is such a stupid thing to have to do this way. I guess we'll talk about, well, whatever. Let's just get through this real quick. Spam, spam, spam. Because why would you be able to hit one button to do this? We don't care about quality of life upgrades. Friggin' tendonitis just by upgrading your hero to level 80. Clickety, clickety, click. So you can obviously read this stuff while you're going, but I'm going to go back to the stats first. Alright, so the resulting stats. Well, he's only level 1 star, so 1851, 2873. That defense isn't terrible to begin with. Skill, so max health, crit chance, dark resist, and that's it. No chaos reduction or anything like that. So, hero is slow. And as we said, he gains... increases max health by 25%, and that increases with skill. That's interesting. That is very interesting. So you could actually increase that more. So your attack, defense, and max health could get considerably higher. That is very interesting. So, alright, we'll think about that. This hero also has a 100% base chance to make a basic revenge attack when hit by a physical attack. Physical attack, not a magical or anything else. So, yeah, that's not fire or any of those other things. So I'm wondering if that's changed or if that is how it was before. But thick skin, this takes less damage from physical attacks. Once again, not magical or anything else. So this is kind of like being armored, but better because there's no armor piercing. It's still probably damage, or susceptible to damage, damage penalty, like chaos. I guess chaos wouldn't affect it anyways because it's not physical. So my boys can take a hit. So this guy is like supposed to be some sort of mob boss, whatever, Underlord Thraxx. My boys can take a hit. Slow allies gain 30% bonus health and defense. I'm assuming this is affected by skill too. I mean, I think that could be interesting. Have big, burly, slow heroes. So health and defense, I mean, that is really big. That health is really going to affect the ability to take chaos damage. So, the last word, slow allies take 30% reduced damage from fast enemies. So in addition to them being 20% less powerful or less attack, they also take 30% reduced damage. Slow allies revenge attack twice. That's huge. And slow allies can't have buffs removed or debuffs added by fast enemies. This is enormous. If this literally blocks null magic, that alone, like straight out blocks null magic. That alone will be great. I mean, when you think about it, how many heroes that aren't fast are removing buffs? That means they can't be removed from Sybil either. This is actually pretty darn interesting. The implications here are pretty big. 2 revenge attacks, and the fact that you'll see some of the, when his abilities, there's a lot of potential here. This could be a really, really game-changing hero. And I really hope it is. Unfortunately, I can already see some things exploiting the existing meta that would make this even more painful. Every attack this hero and other slow heroes survive adds a stack of street cred. Oh, I wonder if this means like every attack or every time they're hit. It's like heroes that do 3 attacks to each person or something like that could buff this 3 times in a row from a single attack. That'd be interesting, but it depends on whether or not they consider an attack just a swing or if it's a power being used. But regardless, they gain a stack of street cred, which increases their defense by 20% per stack. You're already getting a bunch of defense. This could start stacking a lot, and this is all slow heroes. At 5 stacks, you increase your damage by 200%, and it stacks up to 5 times. This is something that could probably end up getting applied pretty darn quickly. Especially when you're getting hit by Archon, which does like 3 attacks per hero as he spins, or yeah, I mean then that's per hit. That's not per like slow or fast hero. This could actually be really, really, really good if it works out. I honestly don't know if it's going to work out, but we shall see. And he's got the blessing, which I just gave him. Alright, so his abilities. So this is the basic attack. This is the only time I've ever seen a basic attack where, in some circumstances, he doesn't make an attack or do an action, it's somebody else. So a random ally makes a basic attack against a targeted enemy. If there are no allies, melee physical attack for 557 base damage, that number will go up as stars and stats go up. So if somebody else makes an attack, a basic attack, and then if nobody else is there, then he does a basic attack. That means you can trigger other people's, like, the thing that I'm worried about is seeing dragons doing this, and then getting all the follow-up attacks. Or dwarves, because it doesn't have to be a random slow ally. Like, you send Valken off to make an attack, and then everybody else makes a basic attack to follow it. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of tactical possibilities here. Unfortunately, some of them still favor the existing meta. But there's a lot of potential here. This could get out of control, and then he could be the new friggin' Niveus that breaks everything. Well, we'll see how this works. I mean, at least it'd be a change, but we need none of these abilities by themselves seem overpowered. They do seem strong, but none of them seem broken, which is something at least. We're not doing power creep. Rough 'em Up is the first activated ability that's not a basic. It's a melee physical attack on all enemies for base damage. Applies hit effects randomly from each ally to each enemy. Now, I'm assuming that means like a hit effect, if they have any hit effects, would be like Burning Touch, Shocking Touch, whatever. It's going to apply those randomly from each ally to each enemy. I don't have clarification on that, but that's my assumption. Disease Touch, things like that, on hit attacks. I don't know what that's going to do for like Warrior or stuff like that, but unfortunately that's also going to mean Doom and things like that from Dragon Runes, and that kind of thing may also happen too. So that's on each enemy. And there was something else about that. They can't have buffs removed. Alright, so street cred. Okay, so it wasn't that. So it's just business is the next ability. Melee physical attack on target enemy for base damage. Each ally then attacks the target as well, which means we're going to get chains of follow-ups. That enemy gains debt owed. Each time that hero makes an attack, all allies make an attack against that hero. So this hero attacks somebody, the rest of your team attacks that person, and then if that person that hero is still alive, when they attack next, everybody makes an attack against that hero again. And when that hero dies, if they still have debt, it deals damage to each other enemy. So I don't know how much, but this is kind of like that corruption from within, or the one that Ponti gives, where that you die and you deal damage to others, that kind of thing. So this is fairly strong. I mean, once again, you're triggering a bunch of people. Like, this is mob mentality, literally. And an offer you can't refuse. The last ability is a melee physical attack on a target enemy for base damage per stack of street cred. Which means if you got 5 stacks of street cred, that goes from right now 1744 and goes up when you get 5 or 6 stars and you have runes. So that's going to get huge. And you deal 2x damage to enemies with debt owed. If this attack were to kill an enemy, instead, they attack all allies, and then they flee. I mean, if anything was going to be OP about this hero, I think it'd be this. What's the cooldown on this? 3 turns. 3 turns. OMG. So let's put this in context. Let's put this in context here. Let's go to a hero like, say, Nub Nub. Alright, Nub Nub is not a good hero, not a strong hero, whatever. The second ability that Nub Nub has is a 7-turn cooldown. Buffs attack and defense by 95% for all allies, and he's slow. OMG. ×2 for nature allies. Oh my god. Wow. But it's a 7-turn cooldown. 7 turns for this. That means you can't even throw 5 festives on him and have it, like, it's going to be 2 turns. You're going to be on round 3 before you could use this, unless you're using a chilling festive. But it's going to be round 3 before you can do this. But with the new hero, you can do that. You could do that ability if you start with festives. You could do that ability 3 times before Nub Nub could do that ability once. That's the logic of boss fight. Not that I'm saying that that should be more. I'm saying that Nub Nub's ability should be less. So yeah, that is this hero. Now, looking at strategies, this is slow, so he's going to synergize extremely well with any slow hero. Going to synergize well with any demon hero. Going to synergize well with any ogre hero. And then tank stuff. Now, let's look at each one of these in particular. Let's look at the slow heroes. So, Jin, Yan, Nub Nub I'm going to start taking pretty seriously. Zom, I'm going to start considering. But Kozar is going to get double the benefit because he's an ogre and he's slow. And he gets bonus damage and attack based on his health. So all those health buffs are just going to amplify. Kozar could become viable again. Holy crap. And they're both dark, which means that if you throw Yan in here to give them Shroud on top of everything else, that's even more damage reduction. Where is it? Chapter Paralyzed. Yeah, so all allies gain 25% damage reduction plus 20% attack against silence targets. Dark and honor-bound allies gain double this bonus and gauge Shrouded for 1 turn. So here's one team configuration, is Yan, Jin for the silence, and then Thraxx, whatever his name is. And then all of a sudden, you've got dark heroes getting tons of stuff, and then you just throw some other slow hero. I mean, hell, you throw Grandar in with him or something like that, and then, ugh. That's a gross combination. You don't even have to make the 4th one slow. Just put Sybil on there so you get double tap from all these heroes. I mean, oof, or Craw. Or Craw, or Drac, or Valken. Like, oh my god. So these are going to be the slow heroes you're working with. How you might even be able to make Stonefist viable. I'm not sure if you'd be able to make Phenol viable. But, I mean, heroes max health increases for each monster ally, not useful. This hero is hit, gets a stack of gelatinous mass. Defense by 10% per stack, up to 5 times. I mean, you're looking at tons and tons of defense, max health. This is gonna be interesting. So Slime Shot, base damage, chance to poison, poison's useless. Cleanses debuffs on self, taunts, and regenerates health, starts powered. Physical attack, steals buffs. The number, I mean, it's potential. I'm not saying that it will be, but one of the teams that is I'm looking at here involves plants. And this, as a green hero with Lily, I mean, there's possibilities. I don't know if any of them or all of them are going to pan out, but... And then you start looking at, instead of speed, you start looking at families. And let's look at demons. So obviously you're going to get synergy with Zulk. You're going to get synergy with Malice for sure. Malice meaning that the enemies aren't going to be able to heal, or non-demon enemies aren't going to be able to heal, and all sorts of stuff like that. Plus take more damage and everything else. I mean, Ella, more control and stuff like that. I mean, Demon's not quite so strong. Pygneus, so you'd have some crossover potentially with Solaris then too, or Sun Wukong. So I mean, definitely possibilities along there too. And then you look at Ogres. And then we're going to look at one other group after that. So I mean, Ogres, I still don't think we're going to be able to make Themis viable, although maybe now. We'd have to see. But we've got two slow Ogres, Jumbo, who has this neat ability that all allied ogres become plants and gain plant growth. Enemies start the dungeon swamped, blah, blah, blah. So allies heal at the end of the round for each stack of growth on this character, and then plant allies also heal for each stack of growth. That's and. They both happen. So you're the Thraxx is an ogre. So he will become a plant. He'll heal at the end of each round. He'll grow at the end of each round, which means he's going to gain attack or he's going to gain defense and health. If you have Kelpie on the team too, that means he also gains attack. Lily means that she's going to make plants grow every round. Technically, you've got, if you want to give them all haste and stuff like that, you've got Rocky for the spore stuff. I mean, 50k defense on Jumbo right now. 50,000 defense. And, I mean, that's already factoring in the 30%, but he's going to get 30% more. So that means he's going to be at 65k defense to start when on a team with Thraxx. And he makes all ogres become plants. And then Kozar would become a plant with all the same stuff if Kozar was on the team. Or Grognog becomes a plant. And then so does Thraxx. So you've got that kind of ogre synergy. And then because of that, you've got, with any time you got ogres, you've got plants. So you've got Kelpie, Lily, Rocky, sort of, probably not. Synergy, and Rocky's fast, so that's going to be even less, although he gains more skill. So, but Kelpie and Lily, Kelpie will gain more skill, Lily won't, but she's going to have all those plants and everything else. So there's a lot of potential synergies here between slow heroes, plant heroes, ogre heroes, demon heroes, whatever. There's going to be a lot of stuff. And then, of course, there's going to be just the general synergy with the top-notch meta heroes and crap already. Craw, the S2 causes everybody to, or the S3 causes everybody to make an attack. Drac has his S1, causes everybody to take an attack. All those things are going to synergize with the slow ability. Sybil is going to make double tap for everybody to make a second attack when they do a ranged attack. The follow-ups, I mean, Elrakis, unfortunately, when you get all these basic attacks and all these automatic attacks happening, that's only going to help dragons. And that's what I'm worried about, is that you're going to see Elrakis and Niveus buffed as part of this. But, I mean, Zulk, this is going to help Zulk. It's going to nerf Null Magic, hopefully. I really hope that's the case. I mean, if that's the case, I want some of these other heroes going to be slow. It's going to nerf Lorelei a bit. Yeah, I want some more here. I want Drac to become slow now. Like, oh my god, slow Drac with all of this? Oof. Just so much fun. I mean, hell, make Solaris slow. Friggin'... make Pontifex slow, even. But Zom's gonna be... I mean, there's just gonna be a lot of opportunities here, so... We'll see how it actually works in practice. It might still suck. But it might be great. I think it's going to change the meta. The fact that slow heroes aren't going to be able to be affected by either Doom. Well, they will be able to be affected by Doom because no fast heroes. So let's take a look at fast heroes and see who's going to be affected. So Dagon isn't going to be able to paralyze or shock. Sybil's not going to be able to steal buffs. Shade's not going to be able to provide Haunted, which is meh. Archon steals buffs, so he's not going to be able to steal all your buffs with his S3. Kelpie is going to get buffed. Lupina doesn't really... I mean, she applies Fear, not really so big a deal. Black Diamond, not hurt so much. Damage is going to go down, but skill's going to go up. Meyer, skill's going to go up. That's going to help. Serenity is going to get hit, but only against slow heroes, which makes sense. Hopper, none of these heroes. Willow. Miko won't be able to freeze, so you're not going to be required to bring Grandar every fight if you want to avoid that. He's also going to do less damage, so maybe this gets better. Miko might not be quite so terrible. Lorelei is not going to be able to prevent... Well, not going to be able to... I guess she only... It's not really going to affect Lorelei much. She won't be able to apply that lifelink. Neither will Shade. Gortusk, not really going to be involved. Deadeye won't be able to involve or do his blinded debuff, but he should be able to still steal the energy. Crucible, nobody cares about. Kai is all buffing, not buff stealing. Ember would be burning, not really a big deal. Darius, Indigo. So, and then Zen isn't really going to be affected either. So really, it's only going to affect some heroes in a negative way. Yeah, all in all, I don't see a lot of downside to this, other than maybe it's not extreme enough. We'll have to see. It might need to be tweaked a little more on the positive side, so. But anyhow, well, I guess maybe we can take a quick look at runing. So, all legendary down here. So, I mean, I'm assuming I'm just going to rune him for health, defense, and skill. Is almost guaranteed to be what it is. So I'm a little light on runes right now because I've got way more heroes. 1834. We'll go with this one. On blue, let's see. I should actually have a life and defense rune there. Do health, defense. Defense, health. Perfect. A healer rune. Yeah, healer runes are going to be great on him. Probably if I had the freezing taunt. I don't think I have the freezing taunt right now. She doesn't have an epic, so I can't use that. Warrior runes going to be pretty awesome. I can use ogre runes on him. So attack, defense. I don't think I have any blue ogre runes anymore. Attack, defense. An enabler or an evasion rune on him would be decent. Sanctified, attack, health, defense. I can actually get behind that. And then... what else? Defense, health. Defense, attack. Attack, health. I mean, I guess he technically doesn't need attack, health. That's an interesting idea. We'll give that a try. See what that gets up to. And more spamming. Alright, so at 1 star, 25k health at 1 star. That means at 6 stars, that's basically going to be more than double. The defense should increase a lot. That'll scale up. The skill could definitely do with more skill. That's not necessarily how I would ruin him in the end, but I think it's a good start. So I'm probably going to do a separate video on PvPing with him, probably more likely when I actually get him raised up a little bit. So I'm going to end this video now. It's already been about almost 40 minutes, but let me know what your thoughts are, and definitely let me know what your experiences are like with him. Please, please, please give this video a thumbs up. Definitely appreciate comments and your thoughts and all that. If you got this far, you're awesome. You guys have a wonderful day. Take care.